Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. We'd like to welcome Keith Mitchell and Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen into the interview room here at the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. First of all, Keith, we're going to start with you. You're making your 5th start at this event, and on tour this season, you're coming off of 3 top 15 finishes in your last 6 starts. We can get some comments on the state of your game coming into the week.
Feels good. Feels good is a kind of a statement that's hard to use because last week I missed the cut, but I felt like I was playing better than I performed. But probably the best start to a season in my short career out here. So really excited about how many events we have left and building off that and trying to make it to the FedEx Cup playoffs and then eventually to Eastlake. So this week's a great week. I've had mixed success here, but hopefully my partner can carry me a little bit on Sunday.
Speaking of your partner, Josh, just a couple weeks ago, coming off of a game that people will be talking about forever, basically. You talk a little bit about that game and then what it's been like the last couple weeks and how being here at Pebble Beach can sort of be cathartic for you.
Yeah, to piggyback off that, I get 9 pops. So he just said 9 pars. That's all I need out of you. So that's my goal. And to answer the question, it was a fun game to be a part of, and I know that everybody I've talked to so far has come up to me and talked about how much they enjoyed that game, and it's a small consolation prize, I guess, to be a part of that game, just where 2 teams are going back and forth. Unfortunately, we didn't get the job done, and it hurt watching the last week's game, and it's going to hurt watching the Super Bowl, knowing what could have been. But again, we move on, we'll learn from it, and we'll use it to our advantage.
Keith, did you watch that game, and just how excited are you being here this week playing with Josh?
I did, and I obviously watched the highlights again and again. And at the time, watching the game, obviously I had no idea that this would be a thing, that Josh was I was assuming he was going to still be playing football. And now that we're here playing golf, I think we're just going to scratch the Super Bowl and get a trophy this week, so we're not really worried about it.
All right, awesome. We'll start with questions. Okay, we'll start with Dave and then Ron.
Yeah, I was curious, Josh, how much golf you actually got into play since you were kind of tied up with football in Buffalo and not really.
Not much. He hit it
Yeah.
60 feet with a wedge.
I should have putted it. I should have just putted. Yeah, and like you said, not much. Probably the last 18, other than the last couple of days, was probably mid-July before training camp. So it's been a while. It's knocking off the rust, and I'm not the best player in the world. I'm not going to tell you that I am, but when I can hit it, I'm going to hit it a long way, and it's something that I enjoy to do. Though it's my favorite thing besides football to do is to be out on the golf course and hitting shots and hanging out with the boys and having a good time.
And follow up, I'm curious, it is a competition. Will you try to bring the same intensity that you would on a football field? Absolutely.
I love to win, and I got a good partner here, and I'm thankful to be paired with him. And we got to meet last night and hang out a little bit, and I'm super excited to be on the course with him and maybe pick up a few pointers here and there.
All right, let's go to Ron.
Josh, what's your history in golf? When did you pick it up? You obviously grew up just a few hours from here. Did you come to this event, watch this event as a kid? What's sort of the backstory?
Yeah, I played a little bit growing up. My dad and mom would take me out every once in a while, but I really didn't get into it really into college, and that's where I figured out I love to do this and I want to do this as much as I can. But yeah, this is an event that my parents, our friends, our families, they would come to this event. Being 2 hours away, it was pretty easy. My grandparents had a spot up here where we could stay. So I've spent a lot of time here, but yesterday was actually the first time I've ever played Pebble Beach. So that was unbelievable. It was awesome. And I know it was a practice round, but there was like nobody out there, and we got to walk and just enjoy our time out there and throw a couple balls down. It was spectacular, and to have that moment was pretty cool.
Too bad it was so cloudy, right? You couldn't see anything.
Oh man, you couldn't have asked for a better day, honestly. And I think this weekend the weather looks pretty good, so gives us some opportunities, him, to go make some birdies.
And can you talk about the inspiration for that Phil Mickelson costume? And that obviously generated a lot of chatter on social media and sort of made clear your interest and obsession with golf.
Yeah, I do the thumbs up every time I pass by our cameras going into the locker room, and I kind of got that from Phil, his little hat tip and thumbs up. And I've gotten to talk to him a couple times. He spoke to our team before the season and just took a lot from what he said, and just wanted to show my, admiration, if you will, by dressing up as him for Halloween, and it turned out pretty good, like really good.
Yep, let's go to Alex.
When did you decide to actually come here?
We got the call, was it Tuesday? Tuesday, and my agent back there, he asked me, and I just said, absolutely, I can't pass this up. And I've played in a couple things. I played in the the American Century in Tahoe a couple years ago. I played in the Waste Management 2 years ago. But this is, the creme de la creme, top of the top, and I wanted to be a part of it. And I know not many people get this opportunity to come out here and play with some special golfers and enjoy this experience. So once I was asked, I knew it was a no-brainer. I needed to be out here.
And did you know Keith before this?
I knew of him. I've never met him until last night.
He didn't know of me.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. That's a lie. You're a Georgia boy. I knew it. But again, just in talking with him for 20 minutes last night and seeing him here at the little par 3 thing, I feel like our personalities match up pretty well. And again, I'm super excited to be out on the course with him.
Keith, can you, if you had to analyze what you've seen so far, except for the poor chip shot, I think it was, from 60 feet, can you just talk about what you see in his game?
He's got some great arm strength. He's pretty quick. He's really avoided a few tackles. So I think he's one of the best
Golf
in
game.
I
You could
saw.
do Emily in Paris.
No, I
too.
knew what you were
Oh,
talking
right.
about.
SNL.
Yeah, I saw him hit 2 shots and they weren't his best, but you know what?
We'll be locked in tomorrow. I
I know.
promise.
And Larry Fitzgerald's already talking a lot of smack, saying him and Streelman are going to take us down. We know Larry's usually gets too many shots, so we might have an adjustment in our own game with him winning twice. So we're going to try to take them down. Definitely try to make it to the weekend or make it to Sunday and see where we can go. But if, like I said, all I need is 9 pars on those 9 holes. I don't care what he does in the rest of the time, but 9 shots from the tees he's playing with the drives he can hit are going to definitely be an advantage.
So how far do you hit it? Keith, you can.
I mean,
try
that's
that.
just that's the funniest question about
Yeah,
golf is when people ask how far you hit it. It's all here it goes nowhere because you got the marine layer. It's cold in the mornings. It's damp. I mean, I was hitting 2
Pretty
clubs. Yeah, there you go. I was hitting 2 clubs extra this morning, but from if we can see his size and his up tees, we're gonna be just fine.
And Josh, can you sort of, what from football can you bring to this? I mean, obviously very different game, but
Yeah.
what can you transfer?
Well, I've been working with a pro down in El Niguel, which is the golf club I'm a member at. His name's Wade Wilson. He's the pro down there. And he's just trying to relate my swing to basically my throwing motion, trying to fire my hips first and kind of letting everything else follow through. So there are a lot of similarities between a throwing motion and a golfing stroke. And I just want to come out here and hit some good shots, have some fun, and, like I said, help him out in those 9 holes.
But if you think about what it's like, down the stretch in Kansas City with 80,000 people screaming and you trying to organize your offense versus what it's going to be like tomorrow on the first tee with dead silence
Yeah.
and people lining the tee box.
Yeah.
What's that going to be like for you?
Well, in that term, it's polar opposite, right? Instead of using silent cadence and you can't even hear your own thoughts to your thoughts being the loudest thing you hear on a golf course. And sometimes that's almost as scary as it being super loud, And but again, just the mental toughness that you have to have as a golfer, and you have to bounce back after a shot. You have to bounce back after an interception. And again, if you can let your last shot or your last throw dictate your next shot or your next throw, and you got to be good on that end of letting things go and just trying to find out how you can best move forward.
Have you told Keith what you'd like to have him do? Like Jordan Spieth was talking yesterday, where his playing competitor or his playing partner gives him a lot of grief when he's not playing well. Have you talked to Keith about what you need to get motivated if something goes wrong?
No, not really.
I'm listening.
I'm just gonna try to give you a bunch of reads on the green. That's all I can do. I don't know.
We're gonna have fun, and if you have fun, you play well. It's the way it goes, and especially in golf, especially in this tournament. It's one of the most fun events of the year if you let it be, on and off the course. A lot of fun events each night and concerts. So we're gonna have a good time, and if we have a good time, we're gonna play well.
Just to clarify, this is your first interview room since Kansas City?
Technically, yes. We had our exit interview Tuesday, the following Tuesday or Monday or Tuesday. So, but yes, it's been about a week and a half.
And how much golf will you play between now and, I guess, next summer?
Almost every day, I hope. I love it. I love golf. So, honestly, it's my absolute favorite thing to do, other than throw the pigskin.
If I could ask one more, what kind of interaction with the fans have you gotten? Do you expect to get? I mean, as you know, this is 49er country. Steve Young still gets a big response, and I know you grew up a 49er fan. What's that dynamic like now that you're here as the Buffalo quarterback?
I don't know. Bills Mafia travels pretty deep. Seems like I don't know how they do it, but they're everywhere and nowhere at the same exact time. So I expect them to be out in full force, and expect to see a lot of familiar faces from the Central Valley because, like I said, this is an event that a lot of my family and my family friends would come to growing up. So it'll be fun to see all those people.
Did you ever come to the kid?
I never came to the Pro-Am, but my parents, they would come here to get a babysitter and have a good time in Carmel, Monterey, which now being 25 years old, I don't blame them for doing that.
Let's take one more. Alex?
Yeah, we'd probably be remiss by not asking, since I'm not sure if you've been asked yet about Brady's retirement. So go ahead and tell us what you think about Tom Brady retiring.
Yeah, I mean, the greatest player of all time, I think, in any team sport, period. The things that he's done for football beyond on the field, or beyond the field, it's remarkable. And obviously, you look at all the stats, first and this, that, and basically everything. And as a kid, especially a California kid, he was my idol growing up. So being able to play against him was surreal to me. We almost got him this year in Tampa Bay. We were pretty close. Another overtime coin flip, but I digress. But he's just, again, I've gotten the chance to talk to him a couple times, and you can't say an ill thing about the guy. Like, he as a person is one of the best dudes you'll ever meet. And again, for what he's done for me as a football fan, as a football player growing up and wanting to be the type of player that he is, he pushed me and he taught me so many different things that, he doesn't even realize he did, but he probably did that for a generation of players. So, I'm happy if he's happy, and it's just one of those situations where you hate to see a competitor like that walk away from the game, especially after throwing for 5,000 yards and 40-plus touchdowns this year, and it still feels like he's at the top of his game. But if that's the decision that he makes, and he's always going to be a legend.
Could you conceive of a situation where you'd be playing 20 more years?
I don't know. That's tough. It's a lot of football. But one thing that me and him have in common, we absolutely love the game. I love the game, and I absolutely want to play as long as I can, as long as my body will allow me to, and hopefully after that, get to play a lot of golf.
All right. Okay. Before we go, though, Keith, we didn't ask about your career as an athlete, like football, basketball, baseball, anything. Want to share?
I played everything but football. And my dad was a great football player, and he kind of told me not to. And then it was a funny story. We were at a little charity event, and I was throwing the football with Eric Decker, and Eric Decker asked where I played quarterback in high school, which was the biggest compliment I've had in my career in golf and anything. And I told him, I was like, I've never put on pads in my entire life, so thank you for saying that.
It's the swing.
Yeah, I tried to throw it today on the number 7, and that didn't work, so I've lost my touch.
All right. Awesome. We do have one.
Yeah, just one last one. Josh, you'd be too young to really remember Steve Young. What are your sort of enduring 49ers childhood memories?
Well, my dad was a huge 49er fan. It was a 49er household, and so I heard all the stories of Joe Montana and Steve Young, obviously, and I've gotten the chance to talk a few times with Steve and be interviewed and things of that nature. And he's, again, one of those guys. Just you can't beat the type of person he is. He's just fun. He loves having a good time, but he's just a genuinely nice person. And again, you want to be surrounded and you want to idolize people like that. And again, I never really got to see him play growing up, but after seeing some highlights and watching some film on him, I think he was just, I know he's still a Hall of Fame quarterback, but if he was in today's generation, I mean, he would be probably still tops in the league in terms of running and using his ability to escape and throw the ball downfield. So I feel like we have very similar, I guess, play styles, and that's a lot to compare myself to him, but and that's not what I'm meaning to do. But he's awesome. I got a lot of admiration for him as a player and as a person.
Well, what do you remember when you were a kid, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old? What do you remember about the Niners?
Tim Rattay, Jeff Garcia, Ken Dorsey was there, my new offensive coordinator. He was there for a cup of coffee, and then obviously Alex Smith. And I got to meet Alex Smith and talk with him for a while. And again, there's just some great dudes out there, and Alex Smith might beat them all. Just the things that he's endured in his career, and I know he's played in this quite a few times, but this is his first one back since. And I know he's pumped up about this opportunity to come out here again and be loved by all the 49er fans in this country. And it'll be fun to kind of see him play too.
All right, gentlemen, thank you for your time. Best of luck this week.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.